Hello there and welcome to the 37th episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. My name is Anne and I am the 3 a.m. Knitter and I welcome you to the episode. If this is your first time here, thanks for checking me out. That's so great. If you enjoy yourself, I would love it if you would subscribe and like the podcast. That would be wonderful because that's what helps my channel grow. So let's get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. And this is stuff that I do at the beginning of every episode. So if you've heard it before, just fast forward. You can find me on Ravelry as the 3 a.m. Knitter. I have a group there as well. So you can search on the search for the group and join. And that's where I post all about knit-alongs and upcoming, contests and information about episodes and, all the stuff and things that you'll find on Ravelry. My email address, etc., is down below in the description box. And you can DM me, you can leave a comment. I always read all the comments and do my very best to comment back. Instagram, did I already say Instagram? Anyway, Instagram, you'll find me as a 3 a.m. Knitter, and you will also find me over on Facebook as the same. So you can find me pretty much anywhere if you search 3 a.m. Knitter. There you go. Okay, so that kind of takes care of the housekeeping. This episode is a couple of weeks late. Life just happened, and that's what it is. Life just happened. So I'm here. I have a bit to catch you up on, and it's kind of nice because I got a couple finished objects to show you and things like that. All right, a couple of announcements. Actually, maybe only one announcement. If you watched the previous episode, you will recall, I'm quite certain, that I talked about my top 10 favorite Canadian knitting podcasts. And what I had realized when I was talking to you about those knitting podcasts is that I did not have podcasts for, where's my list? BC, PEI, and Newfoundland. So I was missing 3 provinces. I didn't have any podcast representation there. So I asked you guys to give me some suggestions, and boy, did you come through. So to add to my list, and I will link all of these down below in the description box. For PEI, it was suggested that I give Fleece and Harmony a listen and a watch. For Newfoundland, Fiber Nuts. I'm interested to watch that one. And for BC, there was quite a few. For the Fun of Knit, A Stitch in Time, Cut Bank Girls, Cat Knits, and Woolen Spinning. So there's quite a few there. So now I have gathered up a list that I will share happily with you for the entire country. So now we can watch podcasts from coast to coast, and everybody's going to be well represented. So to that end, because you guys were so generous in offering me such great suggestions, I would like to have a little giveaway or a little contest or a little, whatever, as a thank you to you. So in the comments below, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to pick from the list that I have put together, that you helped me put together, or suggest a new podcast for watching that is your favorite. My preference would be that it's a Canadian podcast. So do your best to make it a Canadian podcast. And then what I will do is in the next episode, I will randomly pick from all of those comments, somebody to win a pattern from a few. I've got 3 patterns that I'm going to give away from a few of my favorite designers. One is Leanne, the Knitty Stew. She has a really, really great cowl pattern that I'm going to share with you. Also a fantastic sock pattern from Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy from New Brunswick. And also, sorry, I just lost my list here. There we go. From Tracy Miller of the Grocery Girls. She has some fantabulous socks. So, and cowls and hats too. So we're going to have a pattern to give away for that. So if you would like to be in the running for a pattern of your choice from one of those amazing designers, comment below about the podcast that you love to watch. Try and make it Canadian though, okay? All right. Okay, let's jump right into some knitting, shall we? What am I wearing today? You guys have all seen this before if you've watched me in previous episodes. This is my eyelet pop top. This is a design by Andrea Rammel of Natural Ewe Yarns, which you will know is my LYS down the street from me, just about 5 doors that way. This is a top I made a little while ago. I really love the shaping in it. It's kind of A-line. You can see that there's the eyelets here along the side, and really nice detail. Now, it is quite a large neck, which very easily would be, you'd be able to modify it very easily if you wanted to. I often, in cooler temperatures, would wear a long sleeve underneath this, so it's a great layering piece as well. So it's, you know, you can wear it, you know, most of the year, which is great. I will definitely be making another one. I'm not going to give you all the details about it. I'll link to my project page on Ravelry if you want the full details about my knit. But again, this is the Eyelet Pop Top by Andrea Rammel. That's what I'm wearing. Okay. Works in progress. Works in progress number 1. My LYS is hosting a Christmas in July knit along, and of course I jumped right on board. So the lovely Jasmine Rammel, who is Andrea's daughter, designed a beautiful pattern called the Seaside Stole, and there is a picture of Jasmine showing off the entire stole. Just move to, there's a close-up of the detail. So you've got that beautiful lacework panel there, and this is kind of chevron-y, biased, what does she call it? Biased stockinette stitch, kind of in a chevron shape. So the pattern is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. It is done in fingering weight. I am using this Gots to Have It merino. This is the Cosmo colorway by Natural Ewe Yarns. So you might recall this colorway. I bought this colorway to knit the diaphanous raglan, and I got it almost finished. I was on the sleeves, and I didn't like it. I hated it, and I knew I was never going to wear it, so I frogged it. And I'm reusing the yarn for this stole. So this is kind of my main color. And then I dug through my stash, and then I found another skein. This is the Caribou colorway. So it's very caramelly, like it's kind of washing out a bit, but you can see it's got these hints of red in it, right? So I'm using this, which excellent from Stash. And then I went over to the store and I bought this mismatched sock set. I have a hard time saying that because I thought that specifically this one would work, but when I got it home, it's too orangey, and I'm going to show you why. So I ended up only using this one. So I'm about not quite halfway through. When I get about halfway through this repeat that I'm on now, I'll be 50% done. But here's what I've got done so far. So this is the Cosmo, obviously. This second lacework panel is the Caribou, and then this is the new colorway that I bought. It doesn't have a name, it just has a number. Now, this brown is not as warm as the Caribou. This is caramelly, and this is more yellow. But I think that it's far enough away that with the red, with the Cosmo colorway surrounding it, it's going to be fine. So, like I say, halfway through that, I'm really enjoying it. It's apparently, though, when I was on this repeat here, I can't count to 5, and I had to keep tinking back because, I don't know, I was missing yarn overs and stuff. It's not the pattern, it was me. It was like, Anyway, so that's the knit along. I think we're doing it for 6 weeks. So I think I should have it done in time to finish off with everybody else. Oh, everybody else. Sorry, the yarn's stuck around my leg. And it's a good project to take to knit night and things like that, because especially when you're on one of the, what does she call it, biased stockinette sections, it is just 2-row repeats. So it's really, really easy to remember. And you can read the knitting pretty well too. And I'm carting this around in an old I Love Ravelry bag that I got at, one year we went to, my friend Liane and I went to Rhinebeck, and it was way back like 2013 or something like that. And Ravelry had a big Friday night party that they hosted, and they had cupcakes, and they had, you know, you got together, you got to meet people and stuff like that. And this was one of the swag things that you got. So my I Love Ravelry bag. So that's project number 1. So 3 colorways of natural Ewe yarns, fingering weight, and it's called the Seaside Stole by Jasmine Rammel. So you're going to find that on Ravelry. It is a paid for pattern. Oops, let's try this. No, oh, sorry, you guys, the light is awful in here right now. $6 Canadian, excuse me. It's on 3.75 millimeter needles, and it's going to be about 62 inches long and 20 inches wide after blocking. It's considered an intermediate pattern. I'm not sure why. Maybe because of the lace work. But I think that if you are an adventurous beginner, you could knit this with no problem. So that's whip number 1. Whip number 2, I have not done a whole lot of work on because I put it aside to do the knit along. But this is the Autumn Leaves Linier top. I showed you this before, and you know that I've been itching for a long time to cast this on. Oh, there's my needles in this bag. So I am using FleurAnge sock, super soft sock. This is 80% merino, superwash merino, and 20 nylon in the daffodil colorway. That's a good representation right there. And I haven't gotten very far, but I did finish the first lace repeat, and I am now starting on the stockinette portion. And I need, I think, 14 inches of stockinette, so it's going to take me a while. This is not in the round, so I do have to purl back, which I don't mind, but if I had been thinking, I don't know, maybe I would have steeked it or something. Anyway, I'm in love with this colorway. I don't know if you can, I'm just trying to get a, like, look at the color changes there. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So this is going to be a great project. I'm looking forward to getting back to working on it. This yarn, I cannot even tell you how incredibly soft this yarn is. It makes me very, very happy. So that is whip number 2, which, if I get any work done on it in the next week or so, I'll be surprised, because I really do want to finish that Seaside Stole and just get it off my needles. All right. That's it. Well, that's not it for whips. I want to talk to you about this crochet project that I'm working on. Now, this is something, I don't know if you have heard of the organization called Loose Ends. Loose Ends Projects. Loose Ends is an organization that you, as a creator, as a crafter, knitter, crochet, cross stitch, quilting, sewing, all that kind of thing. You can sign up as a volunteer, and what they do is there are volunteers all over the world. They match you with somebody who has lost a family member, who was in the middle of making a project and never had a chance to finish it. And what they do is they match you with somebody who is in your relatively close vicinity, and they send you the project, not the organization, but the person, the family member sends you the project, and you finish it for them and you send it back. So I signed up for this volunteer group quite some time ago, and have just received my first project a couple weeks ago, and I'm working through getting to work on it. So what I received in the mail, I'm just reaching behind me here, is this Filet Crochet. Yeah. I believe it's meant to be a tablecloth. So, am I holding it? Yes. So it's upside down. So, this is what's been done. I don't know, it's hard to see, but you know, you get the idea. Anyway, so it's this long, right? And here is another panel that has been started. So you can kind of see how fine that work is. And then there's one more square that's been finished. So I'm not quite sure. Let me see if I can. Sticky notes everywhere. Good Lord. I don't know if this is going to help. Yeah, see? So, so they sent me the whole kit and caboodle. Here is the yarn. What this is, and the pattern is, it's not complete. So luckily it has a chart. This is number 50 mercerized crochet cotton, and the hook size is 0.75. So I am getting to work on this project. I have 2 panels that I have to, so that's the chain. Yeah, I have 2 panels that I have to crochet, and then I have to put the panels together. It's going to be, it's going to take me a bit, but it's for such a good cause. So the Loose Ends project, if you're interested in participating, I'll put a link down below where you can go and get more information. The lady that I'm doing this for lives in New Brunswick, and her mother had started this, and she would love to have it finished so she can use it in her home. So I'll keep you up to date on that as I move through the process. But again, it's not going to be something that I update you on every episode, because it's very fine work, and so it'll be slow going, I'm quite certain. So that is my other whip. I'm just looking for a place to, there, we'll just put it over here for now. Okay, so I'm on the wrong page. There we go. Finished objects. Ooh, ooh. I have finished my Tin Can Knits Low Tide Cardigan, and I'm not wearing it, and I'll tell you why. So here is my Low Tide Cardigan, and the back. I am super, super pleased with the yarn. So this is, again, Natural Ewe Yarns in the Clementine colorway. But let me tell you why I'm not wearing it. So I think I have to send it back to the blocking mat. And I'm going to show you why. So before I go and rip out these, rip out the shoulder, or the armhole here, the end of the armhole, I'm going to try and block it again. So in the pattern, there are short rows, and I think I buggered up the short rows, and I'll show you why. Hang on just one sec. See this right here? It's like there's too much fabric there, and it's on both sides. Oh, you can't, there, you can see it right there. See that? So I'm gonna try and block that out, because what happens is when it sits, it's like a little bubble up here on my shoulder, and I won't have that. So I'm going to try and block it out first. If the blocking doesn't work, then I'm going to have to take out this bind off, pull this back, and do something about the short rows. I think I probably read the pattern wrong, or I just wasn't paying attention, and I don't know what the hell I did. Anyway, so the most amazing thing happened though. See these buttons? Let me just get a little bit closer. Look at how great those match, right? If you can believe it, I had those buttons in my button stash, and they're the right size, and they were a decent color. I didn't even have to go, and I had enough to do the buttons. So, oh, I was so happy. So this is the Tin Can Knits Low Tide Cardigan. It is, you know, shorter in the back, beautiful drape. I can't wait to show this to you. I will post some pictures when I've got the shoulder blocking fixed up, but super pleased with that finished object. I'll keep you updated on the shoulders. I suspect I'm going to have to pull it out, but if I do, it's not going to be too much work. So there's that. So that's finished object number 1. Natural Ewe Yarns, Gots to Have It Merino, Clementine colorway. I will link to my project page on Ravelry for you down below. And then you might recall, if you follow me on Instagram, that a couple of weekends ago I hosted a Stash Palooza weekend where participants, we all got together all weekend long. We came together on Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, and then one final time Sunday afternoon. And the rest of the time we were on our own knitting. We all chose projects that we could start from Friday night and finish by Sunday. And we had to use stash yarn for it. So the whole idea was making do with what you have, right? So I chose the Susan B. Anderson Good Bear project, and I used this basket right here, this basket right here of Rowan-like yarns that I have had, no, obviously not this one, but that I have had in my stash for a long, long time. It's all fingering weight, it's all wool. I'm not going to use it for anything else. I did originally purchase that off of eBay. It was a big old kit. I purchased it to knit a K facet intarsia sweater, which clearly I never knit. So I used some of that to make this beautiful Good Bear. And here is my wee bear. Oh, isn't he adorable? So he's got a little hat. Look at his little ears. Ah! And a colorwork sweater, no less. Some pants. Yes, he does. And my friend Carrie, who is part of my membership, Carrie, she's in this, just look at his ears, in the circle. She, on Tuesday night, she was saying to me that she has these little running shoes that she bought for some other projects that she was doing. So she's sending me a pair of these running shoes that I can put on my bear. Isn't he cute? So I started this on the Friday night, and I was able to get him finished. The only part of the pattern I did not complete was there's also a garter stitch cardigan that goes with this. I did not do that, but I figured, you know what, he's got his Fair Isle and his pants, he's good to go. So that is my second finished object, the Good Bear. And I will link to Susan's pattern down below. It was a really great pattern. It is, of course, a paid for pattern, but it is well worth it if you've got wee ones that, you know, like little stuffies. Of course, I didn't have any polyfill, so I just used scrap yarn to fill him, and I didn't have any safety eyes, so I just embroidered some French knots on his face. I've since purchased some eyes because I want to make some more. So that's the Good Bear. All right. Let me move him out of the way. Oh, the other thing about that weekend is I was able to use my 3 a.m. Knitter project planner page. So it's a little wrinkly because I've been carting it around. So this just helps me understand, like I kind of scheduled out. Friday night, I was doing the body and the head. Saturday, I did the tail and the arms in the morning, and the pants and the sweater in the afternoon and evening. Sunday, I did the hat. So I just scheduled things out here. I've got all of the information, 3.25 DPNs, and a little picture of the pattern right here. So if you would like to have a project planner of your own, project planner page of your own, on my Instagram feed, there is a link where you can get this for free. So go ahead and grab your copy if you haven't already. So that's the 3 a.m. Knitter project planner page. All right, so that's it for that. What's coming up next for me? Was that, oh yeah, that's next. Sorry, I'm just bending down to, sorry, that's, so I've told you about this a little while ago, but the lovely Cozy Posy Yarn Co. Antonella was, she had a launch a little while ago, and I jumped right on board because I want to make the Leela top. And I know that we're in August already, but I think that, you know, I still have tons of time and we'll get tons of use out of this pattern here. So the Leela top is a pattern by Kadri. That's, yeah, Kadri. It's a paid for pattern, $9.32 Canadian or $6.50 US. Fingering weight, there's lots of sizes, there's 10 sizes, and it's on 3mm needles. Fingering weight, blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, so when I saw that Antonella was having a shop update, I jumped on board and I picked up 2 skeins of her Lush Lino, which is 65% silk and 35% linen. This is a 490 yard, 115 gram skein. I bought 2 of those. And this is the bronzer colorway. And I will be using this, a silk and linen, to do the Leela top. I'm really looking forward to it. I've talked to a couple people who have knit this and they've suggested a few little modifications, which I may or may not follow. But I think that this is going to make a beautiful neutral summer top that will be wearable with lots of different things. Leggings, shorts, you know, skirts, that kind of thing. So, and this, again, this yarn is beautiful. The colorway is gorgeous and warm. And that is the Cozy Posy Yarn Co. That's a beautiful Nova Scotia maker, by the way. You know me and my Nova Scotia makers. So that's coming up next. I have not cast on yet, although it's taking everything in my whole being to not cast on. And then one of my lovely membership members, Marie-Lyne. Oh, this woman, she spends part of the year in New Zealand, in Christchurch, New Zealand, and the other part of the year in Montreal. And she brought me home, oh, where's the tag? Oh, sorry you guys, I'm so unorganized today. I have misplaced the tag. Anyhow, she brought me home a skein of yarn from Christchurch, and this is from a company called Wild Earth Yarns. This is Alpine 8-ply, and this is Merino Possum. And it's in a natural kind of light tan brown. There's hints of black in it. And this is 100% possum pom-pom, which is wildly soft. So the interesting thing, the very interesting thing, is that what Marie-Lyne told me to do is to make sure that I that I did not just start knitting from the skein. And I'm going to show you why. She told me to soak this skein first. Now I haven't done it yet because I wanted to show you the skein as it is, right? So there it is. She told me to soak it and then let it hang and dry. And then I could go ahead and use it. And this is the reason why. Let me just get this picture a little bit wider for you. Okay. Whoops. So, oh, it's too wide. There we go. So here is the skein as I showed it to you. There's the skein. The same, it's not the one I just showed you, but same thing. There's the skein after soaking. Look at how much it blooms. Isn't that crazy? So now that I have shown you guys the this yarn, I'm going to give it a soak this weekend, get it dried, and get knitting with it. It's so soft. But because Marie-Lyne sent me this beautiful pom-pom, I mean, I have to make a hat, right? What do you think? Oh, anyway. So I'm looking for, this is feels like a worsted, looks like a worsted or a DK. So I'm looking for a great hat pattern. It's got to be special because this is a special skein of yarn. So let me know if you have any ideas. All right, so that is Wild Earth Yarns, Christchurch, New Zealand. I will link to them in the show notes, of course, as I always do. So I'm looking forward, really looking forward to working on that. Okay, let's see. The knit along. Yeah, you guys, I'm hosting a knit along. This is the late summer, early fall Nordic Mix Sweater knit along. Booyah. Yes. So we get started. We cast on August 31st. And this is the pattern. So this is a design by Laura Delgard Knit. It is a colorwork pattern. There's a little bit of close-up for you. I have swatched. Grab my little handy dandy bag here. I have swatched and I was able to shop my stash, and I got gauge, or as close to gauge as I'm going to get, using Estelle worsted in the ecru colorway and Cascade 220 Superwash Merino in black, obviously. So there's my color combo. If you check out Rav or you check out Instagram and use the hashtag the 3 a.m. knitter Cal or hashtag Nordic Mix Sweater Cal, you can see a couple of swatches there. Somebody is using an eggplant and ecru or white. I can't tell if it's ecru or white. It's going to be stunning. So listen, if you would like to join us for this knit along, it's all going to be hosted over in the Ravelry group, and we're going to have a cast on party in the 3 a.m. knitter Zoom room, and we're going to have what I am affectionately referring to as the holy crap, I finished the sweater bind off party. And we're going to get together again and do a little fashion show. But listen, you don't have to have the sweater finished, but you have to at least be working on it to come to the bind off party, right? This is just for fun. I want all of us to get together and do this challenging knit. Color work is fun. You get into a rhythm. This pattern is not for the beginner knitter. You should have knit a little bit before you tackle this. This pattern includes steeking. So you're steeking the sleeve, the armhole openings. Don't be afraid. We will have lots of tutorials. We'll have links to lots of visual YouTube, like all of that. So don't worry about it. If you're uncomfortable with steeking, you can practice by making a few swatches in the round, you know, that kind of thing. We'll talk all about that. So we're casting on, sorry, I'm just looking at my calendar, August the 31st, and it runs until the 15th of October. And I chose the 15th of October because that's my birthday and I want to have a nice sweater done for my birthday. And then we're going to have the cast off party or the bind off or the holy crap I'm finished party on the 18th, Friday the 18th, I believe. All of the details are in the Ravelry group. There's a thread for the knit along. And you'll also find the details on Instagram. If you go into my bio, there's a link in my Stan store that has all of the information about the knit along, and you can sign up there and it'll redirect you to the Ravelry group. It's a free knit along, doesn't cost you anything to participate, except of course you have to buy the pattern. So the pattern is on the designer's website. So be very careful when you go to buy the pattern because there are different languages. So you want to make sure that you get the English pattern if you don't speak, I think it's Danish. Don't quote me on that. So I would love to have you join us for the knit along. It's going to be fun, fun, fun. So if you have any questions about it, let me know. But otherwise, get yourself signed up. And get over to that, get over to the Ravelry group and let me know that you're there. Start swatching. You got lots of time. We're not getting started till the 31st. So, okay. All right. I think the last thing on the agenda is for us to do our Knitter's Oracle card. A little bit unprepared. Let me just get to my Knitter's Oracle file. Done. And there we go. Okay. No, that's Knit Companion. Good Lord. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so we gave them a shuffle. Oh, this one just jumped right out of the deck, so I guess that's our card. Yarn Barf. Whoops. The Yarn Barf. That kind of looks like spaghetti. All right, let's see what the Yarn Barf card has to say. Oh, Yarn Barf, the delightful moniker for what you get when strings go rogue. The Yarn Barf card speaks of confusion, turbulence, a lack of clarity and doubt, a situation that needs to be untangled. Something is perhaps hidden in the chaos or obscured from view. You may want to throw up your hands and toss the whole mess away, but with patience and meticulousness, the Yarn Barf can almost always be sorted out. Well, let me tell you something. How appropriate is that as we begin to talk about the knit along? So this is all stranded color work, right? And if you can notice down here, like we've got one motif, one pattern, then it moves into another pattern, right? So when the card is talking about you may want to throw up your hands and toss the whole mess away, patience and meticulousness, the Yarn Barf can almost always be sorted out. So with a challenging project, I think this is a good reminder for us, right? That, you know how sometimes you get frustrated because you make a mistake in a project and you make it over and over and over again, and then you just, that's it, the project is in timeout and you put it in a timeout corner. That's kind of what this is, right? Taking a step back, you're being patient, coming back to it with a renewed view, right? And it always gets sorted out. Now, when I say it always gets sorted out, that could mean it gets frogged, right? So, what do you think? Has your knitting gone rogue lately? As the card or as the description suggests? Yeah. What do you think about Yarn Barf? Aside from the fact that it's irritating and it just makes me mad every time it happens. All right, my friends, that's it for this episode of the 3 AM Knitter Podcast. I am so happy to be back with you after a few weeks away. Let me know if you have any questions. throw your comments down below for your favorite Canadian podcasts, and you may be in the running for a great new pattern from a wonderful Canadian designer. So that's all for now. Keep knitting, and I'll talk to you soon.